If you felt overwhelmed, anxious, and irritable lately, I have an idea why. You have been folded into the algorithm, and it doesn't want to let you go. It happened almost invisibly. Now, only a few things show up on your social feeds, and they tend to reinforce each other over and over. And your energy is tapped out. You feel trapped in a circling labyrinth. And know what? You are. We are. All of us. And that's why today we are learning to rewild our attention. And by doing so, we get to open to new emotions, ideas, and even longings. This is for your emotional health. It's crucial. So come get wild with me. Flowdreaming, still kinda woo-woo, is just what it sounds like. An escape into the world of woo. Also, a ride into you. And how to feel happier, wiser, and more self-aware in every way. It's your ultimate journey into personal growth and inner power. We'll explore ideas like how your energy self influences the kinds of opportunities you encounter, or how your personal growth can drive your business growth, or even how that feeling of being stuck is really always coming from something else. We just have to figure out what. That's right. We're a dash of woo-woo, a sprinkle of self-care, a heap of problem-solving and pattern-busting, and a giant cup of encouragement. We're going to relight so much passion, purpose, self-love, and confidence in you that you practically stagger. I'm Summer McStravick, your host, and welcome to Flowdreaming, still kinda woo-woo. So good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever it is. We are going to learn how to get wild, how to rewild our attention, which means really letting ourselves expand again and breaking through the traps that we have largely fallen into as individuals and a society. I am just as guilty. And when I learned about this concept, it just kind of blew my mind. So what I've done here is I wrote a blog post about it, frankly. And if you don't follow my newsletter, then you've never heard it before. If you do follow the newsletter, you may have actually opened it and read it. And if you did, you might want to listen again because this time I get to read it to you and it's going to hit differently. So with that, welcome to my blog podcast. And we're going to get something done inside of you to make you feel a little looser, more just settled, and expansive in your mind. And you're going to discover something that may have in fact happened to you, which happened to me. Here we go. Each morning, I scroll through the emails that have collected overnight, like the carcasses of moths at dawn. Today, one headline caught my eye: Rewilding Your Attention. I sipped my coffee to skim the article. That feeling of little hairs prickling up, a surge of, oh my God, yes, energy that's inside your chest, well, I was feeling it. See, for the last few years, I've written constantly about the idea of adding more ingredients to your pantry. When you feel stuck or directionless, unexcited about tomorrow, I can guarantee that you have an empty pantry, meaning your heart feels narrow because the variety of new inputs in your life has slowed to a trickle. Metaphorically, you won't bake any exciting cakes until you start filling up your life with the zesty, exotic ingredients again. The pandemic made so many of us fold inside ourselves and fold inside our homes. The diversity and juiciness of unexpected experiences withered in our lives. But then we were all let out again like field mice escaping a winter burrow. Except in the intervening years, we'd lost the habit of tangling with the new and tipping into the wild, largely because social media and the internet had combed through our interests with a fine-tooth comb and winnowed down what we've been exposed to an insulated, isolating, algorithmic perfection. We find our attention trapped in a circular merry-go-round of interests, mostly fed to us by profit-maximizing corporations. Hence, our need to break out of our corporate billionaire fenced-in pens and rewild our attention. Now, this idea comes from Clive Thompson, the article's author, and here's a little bit of what he wrote. What precisely is rewilding one's attention? It's about spending less time clicking on stuff that the big tech algorithms push in our direction, and more time cultivating a weirder, more idiosyncratic media landscape. If you want to have wilder, curiouser thoughts, you have to avoid the industrial monocropping of big tech feeds. You want an intellectual forest overgrown with mushrooms and towering weeds and a massive dead log where a family of raccoons has taken up residence. Instead of crowding your attention with what's already going viral on the inner tubes, focus on the weird stuff. Hunt down the idiosyncratic posts and videos that people are publishing, oftentimes in tiny and niche audiences. It's decidedly unviral culture, but it's more likely to plant in your mind the seed of a rare new idea. Okay, yes, I was actually fist pumping in the air after I was reading this. And some of you might remember my occasional 30 things I did this year. I do these as roundup emails to give you that rewilded experience. I just didn't know what to call it before. What's important to me in the list that I create each year is not so much the accomplishments themselves that I'm listing, the things I did, but the diversity of experiences that I've exposed myself to. I want to keep myself wild. I want to keep information and ideas flowing into me from streams and rivers that I never even knew existed. So every year, I purposely plan to do some very weird things that I either have no knowledge about or have never done before. And I do mean weird. Last year, I went to an enormous UFO convention in the desert and sat through discussions of alien encounters and Bigfoot and the Palladians. I even went to an alien abductee support group meeting, which was really interesting. I traipsed through the Viking fair and I was persuaded by myself to buy and wear a leather Viking breastplate and a faux fur cape. And I went to a Krampus Christmas parade filled with these ghoulish 10-foot-tall puppets and a myriad of creepy European folklore characters all parading through town. Now, metaphorically, again, my pantry got topped off with the equivalent of miso, cinnamon, and saltines. Now, still not the right ingredients to bake a cake with yet, so I must keep adding. Recently, I went to a business conference for millionaires who are scaling their companies to 8 figures. And importantly, the people there own things like plumbing companies, home healthcare services, architectural firms, and basically very, very, very normal kind of businesses. And they asked me what I did. I literally had to explain in detail, and they still looked at me like I was a kooky dooky fish out of water, which I was. But it was perfect, because without anyone else there from the personal growth or wellness professions, I got to peek into vastly different business models and practices that broke me out of my own insular thinking. So on my lineup this year, I'll be attending a Twin Peaks dress-up party. I'm going to be Nadine, the redhead with the eye patch, not the log lady, as you might expect. I'll be seeing Jeff Bridges live on a big screen version of The Big Lebowski, and I expect and demand that half the audience be dressed up as Donnie or maybe a purple pants-suited Jesus. I myself will be wearing a bathrobe. I'm also considering a quick trip to Yellowstone to take a peek at that simmering volcano and maybe visit a wolf sanctuary. So you get the idea. Like, I'm going out there. I don't know about any or all of these things. Well, I did see The Big Lebowski, and I did watch Twin Peaks. So as for online activities, now I have so many Audible credits stacked up that I can afford to poke into new reading, like, I don't know, a romance novel. I haven't read a romance in at least 20 years. So if you have any recommendations, let me know what you think I'd like. This article also clued me in on this wonderful site called Weird Old Bookfinder that randomly selects old, like pre-1920s books on any topic that you type in. So I typed in mediumship, and up popped a book from 1900 purporting to tell me how to hold seances. And I'm just glittering with excitement, as you can imagine. So my question to you is that if you feel the same urge to rewild your attention, what will you do to cultivate it? Because the same recursive algorithms are not going to do that for you. They will sink you deeper into that empty pantry hole. Instead, what weird and funky, outside your algorithm experiences will you search for? What new niche publications or blogs will you start reading? What conferences will you go to? What new sport will you try out? Where attention goes, energy flows. And it might be time to paint your life with pinks and green polka dots and just see what this new and delicious, unfamiliar tub of rewilded attention brings you. I have high hopes, at least for myself, and for you too. There, my friends, is an article that I recently, again, sent out to my email list and published in various different places. You can find my list by going to flowdreaming.com and starting to get these little weird pieces of information flowing into your inbox if that's part of your rewilding process. Or maybe the whole woo-woo world is part of your rewilding process as well. But I really, really, really want to encourage you to do this at least every week, at least several times a year. Do something big. Do something novel and new that you just, you're like, sure. Right? These are the things that your friends invite you to that you're not really into, but you're like, okay, sure, I'll go with you. Those things, more of those things. And when you're scrolling through your phone, get out of the areas that you normally look at. Go other places. Look up different wild little rabbit holes. Find them all. Find the most unpopular stuff that you can find. Because that's rich. That hasn't been fully and thoroughly mined to death yet. With that, I'm going to leave you hopefully feeling inspired and hopefully understanding that this impacts your energy. It impacts your emotional self. It impacts your sense of drive and forward momentum. And you really know you need this. If your forward momentum, if your drive, if your passion, if your what's nextness has all slowed to nothing, that means you need this. And it's one of the most fun experiences, frankly, you can do to regain this. You got nothing to lose. With that, I'm going to let you guys go. Thank you for sharing this little episode with me. If you want to reach out to me and have me help you rewild your life and your attention, I do private readings and sessions with people. I work as a success coach and also as an empathic, intuitive medium. So there's a lot there. If you've got questions about areas of your life that no one else has been able to solve, I will throw my hat in the ring. I have a pretty good track record, and I don't think you'll be disappointed. So what follows is a little note on how to get a hold of me and set one of those up. You can also email me. I do read all my emails personally, summer@flowdreaming.com. Until next time, lots of love, big hugs. I'd love the opportunity to work with you one-on-one because this is where I see the most remarkable growth in my clients. When we work privately, it's more than coaching. It's mentorship, energy work, and intuitive guidance. And what I offer, well, it kind of goes beyond coaching. Together, we'll access insights and information you wouldn't typically have, leading to real transformation. We'll start with a life assessment, what you desire, where you've been, and where you're going. Then we'll align your desires with the universe with a personalized flow dream that you can use over and over. You start with an introductory private session or a deep dive, or of course, we can work together ongoing. Visit flowdreaming.com and search for private sessions, or just reach out and email me. I can't wait to meet you.